Alexander.
Uh,
Hello. Nice one. Uh-oh, I'm muted. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? I was saying, Alexander, hello. Hopefully you can hear that now. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you. Nah, mean.
It's Friday, isn't it? That's
Hell
good.
yeah.
That's the good thing.
Happy Friday indeed.
That's good. That's good, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. You just look at yourself and make stupid faces.
Yeah, definitely. Apparently our stream health is excellent. It's kind of nice that Twitch gives you so many tools to monitor your stuff. Yet I can't listen to the stream without it showing up on here. Remedies! What's happening?
Yeah, I'm not rocking the cleavage tonight. This is weird. Trying to represent my homeboys.
Some spaz?
Oh wow, look, that hair's going right up my nose. It looks like I have like a mustache, but bonjour.
Like one of those that comes out and connects to the chops?
Yeah.
Nice one, I mean. Good day, spaz. How are the levels? Are we getting echoey?
We getting echoey. Oh, something just happened in Overwatch League. What was it? I'm like watching it instead of
That's a
us.
bad idea.
Listen, these like Overwatch times are just the worst. I missed like the first two matches earlier today.
Yeah.
My boys, my Dallas Fuel, because I was on the stupid train and I was walking stupid to the train on my stupid bum leg, and it takes me ages to get anywhere nowadays.
Sub Tiefin? Sub Saphira? I'm sorry about your bum leg. Your tendonitis. What are you gonna do about that anyway?
I start physical therapy on the 22nd.
I'm happy to hear that.
It's gonna be great. I hope my therapist is really hot. Like a really hot blonde lady named Tiffany. And she'd be like, okay, Fist, I'm gonna put some pressure on your hip. And I'd be like, Tiffany. Tiffany. Not like this. I have literally have no idea what goes on in physical therapy. But I assume that it's a lot of somersaults and jumping jacks.
You would be fucked.
I know. Actually, it's fine. Like moving around is fine. It's just like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain how, like, what is painful and what isn't. I don't know. Tendons are weird things I've learned. I think I'm probably just gonna get a new leg.
Does that come at the end? Like if you do physical therapy well enough?
If I failed physical therapy, they'll just give me a new leg. I hope I can get it Blizzard
They
branded.
pull it out and they're like, here you go.
Yeah. Oh, or like, you know those like knockoff lightsabers that are like just like a series of like tube things that get smaller to a point, and
Knock
then
off what things?
lightsaber, and then if you
Oh yeah,
like if you
yeah,
like put it down like this really fast, it like goes out
yeah.
like a dick. I want a leg like that. I'll just be like, "Oh, we're going somewhere," and then like shoot my leg out.
All right, let's
Yeah,
go.
and then I can like lock it in place. But that'd be great because then like when I'm sitting in my computer chair like this, I'll have like more space for snacks. You know,
Yep.
like priorities and stuff.
Priorities.
Priorities. Priorities. Feelings.
I'm having an issue here.
Ambitions. Wishes. Dreams. Goals. That's illegal. People can't do that.
I'll put it back up. I'm testing something and it wasn't working.
What wasn't?
It just wasn't letting me get at it.
My hair's so awkward. I started like curling it differently.
There it is. Go on.
I don't know how to style it yet.
I don't know what to do. I'm confused.
Looks really good though.
Oh, my echoing. That fucking sucks.
Oh shit.
We're back to
Oh
this.
fuck. I can't believe you've done this. Alejandras. Ali.
Alejandres.
Um. Perhaps I will just try to mute while. Here, go ahead and test.
Hello, my name's Thist, and I like to keep my sleeve down because it's got my flag on it. Makes me feel like a badass. Clearly, I'm not. What if we just took these and stuck them in there? Ah, much better.
Okay. How's the echo now?
I am watching Overwatch League. Also,
And how's the echo now? Now. Testing
echo.
levels.
Echo. Way to go, Boston. I knew that Boston would win. Spoilers, Boston won.
Alright, we'll have to just keep checking. Do give me updates on echoes throughout the show if you would. It didn't really change much, so I don't know why it would be better.
I'm super loud now. That's not good, because I have a tendency to yell.
Let's see. I'm too loud, or too quiet, as usual, but that's because the only thing I changed was to turn myself down so that you wouldn't echo as much.
Yes. Because the World Cup was sponsored by HP
HP.
Canada.
Taryn! Taryn's here, and it's only pre-show even.
Taryn, oh my god. Oh, Taryn. I miss you. When are you gonna start streaming again? I really like your streams, oh, Taryn. I like your streams, Taryn. I didn't need to sing about that.
Wow, you went like full on.
I did go full on. Hey, it does look like I'm wearing Skype buttons. Hang on.
Yes, you are wearing Skype buttons. The only thing I can do about that is to crop you.
Maybe I could like press them?
You want I should crop you?
No, I'm on a delay. So I've got to wait for my finger to like hover over the buttons. Okay.
Oh, chat box isn't working. That's what's going
I'm not doing it right. Now I'm like literally just touching myself on the boobs for Skype and for you guys. These buttons aren't working. Haha. It's not funny.
Let's see. The chat box is missing. Here we go.
Cheat box.
Let's get the chat box right.
But yeah. The cool thing about Terran streams is that he just like he goes until he's basically asleep.
That should do it. Somebody type something.
and it's like really soothing. Cause like when you start, like you're like, yeah, Terrence stream, let's do this, and like he's kicking ass and stuff. And then like as the hours go by, it's like you're winding down with him, and then like near the end of the stream, he's just like, yeah, that's great, and you're like, yeah, that was great. Yeah, it's like a thing.
Alright, say a few more things. I'm testing your levels.
What's this button do? What does this button do? What does this button do? Yes, the lullaby stream. It soothes me.
How's that, levels wise, guys? Or is she still way louder? Because I can't tell. You gotta say some stuff now.
Oh,
Theist.
shit. Hello, my name's Theist. Congratulations to the Boston Uprising for beating, Florida.
I like that accent on you.
It's hard. It's weird to me.
Okay. We're gonna try and roll with that.
Cute.
Next to even, I will take that because it's about time.
Time for time.
All right, so we're gonna go to this. Hold on.
Are we going to start the show?
We are gonna start the year.
We're going to make it all official looking?
Yes, in one moment.
8 seconds, but I want it now. Hey, you guys want to see me with a fake nose ring? Oh, can't even really see it because I'm so washed out. I gotta create some shadow on my face.
Terran Justice is now following. What
Oh
a
my
delight!
God.
What a delight!
I don't know about this. Ugh.
Thanks, Terran. Your check's in the mail.
It's full of pancakes.
The check is full of pancakes.
Yeah. Could you imagine just like opening an envelope full of pancakes?
That'd be amazing. All right, we're gonna go away for a moment, and then we will start the show.
Should I not talk or is this like a thing?
Yeah, we're introing.
Oh shit, sorry. It's so dangly.
So dangly. Indeed. Welcome to episode 18. We're back. It's the first episode of the new year because last week we were on the Azeroth Roundtable.
Dude,
Or as this says it, the Azeroth Roundtable.
are you muted? Because nobody can hear you.
Oh, shoot. Hey, welcome to episode 18, everybody. Starting off things right here, being muted right away during the intro. So welcome to episode 18, first show of the year. Trying this intro again. It's the first episode of the year because we did the Azeroth Roundtable last week. So we were on with those guys who are always great. Definitely always love them and check them out. Or as this says it, the Azeroth Roundtable.
Do I say that?
You do.
Don't tell me what I say.
Too late. So, what are we talking about tonight, Fist?
We couldn't figure out what to talk about. So I decided to go onto the internet and find some like random questions, like truth or dare questions, 20 questions, and then I would just like spout them at you, and then you'd have to answer. And then I would have some time to think about my answer while I don't listen to you. Shall we begin?
Yes.
Okay. And I need some audience participation. I want everybody to answer these questions if you can. Like, if you think it's a dumb question, if you don't have an answer, feel free to skip it. But we'll try our best to read out some of the answers. And I think that this could be a fun interactive thing that we do. Intersnacktive. If you're eating food, maybe eat with us, you know?
I like that idea.
I don't have food, but I do have some delicious ibuprofen, which I could snack on, presumably.
Please don't do that.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, so the first question is, if you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time? And I think, considering our audience, we probably know the answer. Video games, and furious masturbation. But aside from those two
You
things,
just took all of my answers.
I know, but like everybody expects us to say that because it's the truth. But like,
So, like, what else would I do?
what else would you do?
Well, there's some things missing in my life that I wish I had more time for, like reading more, maybe taking a class or something like that, having some time for
Hell yeah.
education. Um, well, I have a bachelor's in public relations and marketing,
No, you don't.
but I would like to, yeah, I do, and I would like to expand that. So there's more that I need to learn on that side of things. But I'd also like just to take classes in interest areas. Um,
Like speed dating and
oh, I don't know,
kickboxing?
like broadcast perhaps, maybe so I can learn how to not mute myself at the beginning of the stream. I believe there's classes for that.
That would be really handy, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. In chat, Thermal Donkey said that maybe I'd finally do my dishes. That's a really big one. There'd be time in the day
yeah.
then for like just the everyday adulting things that I just fail at like crazy because I just decided to play video games and do podcasting and streams instead.
Exactly. Because like you get up really, really early, do the bare minimum because you slept in,
Yep.
and then you go to work, and then you're at work and you have to get work stuff done, and then you gotta commute home, then you come home, you gotta eat dinner or whatever, and then by that point you're just like so fatigued from work and so fatigued from like mowing down on a massive burrito or what have you that you're just like, I would really like to just lay here in this chair and play video games. Or you have raid and you're like, I can't possibly clean up the shit that's accumulating around me or do my dishes or laundry because I need to raid and I have priorities in my life because I'm an adult. Right?
Right. So what's your answer? What would you do with that time?
Clean and organized, probably. But I don't know. Like sometimes I try to think about like what I used to do before the internet, and like I used to like draw stuff. I used to like lay on my bed with like a notepad and just like write down things and draw things. And I remember as a kid spending a lot of time looking out the window. Do you guys ever do that? Just like sit in the windowsill with like your head up against the window and you're just like looking out the window. Maybe you've got some music playing and you're just like thinking about shit. I don't do that anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. My parents were military, so we moved around a lot. So I, every couple of years there was brand new scenery to look at.
Yeah. And I lived in the same place for like 20 years, so apparently
But
I mean, I've been playing the same Overwatch. I've been playing the same World of Warcraft main for like 7 years at this point, so obviously I don't get tired of things very easily.
clearly, what were you
Yeah.
looking out the window at?
Nothing.
Well, something was out there.
Like grass, trees. Oh no. I just used the camera to like swipe my errant hairs over, but I did it the wrong way because it's like inverted. Now look at me.
Oh no,
I'm a
you're a
mess.
mess. Oh god.
Okay,
Let's start the stream
this
over.
has to go this
First there
way.
was muting, now there are errant hairs.
Oh
2018
yeah.
is not starting off strong for ye old show, guys.
That's whatever though.
I guess yeah, this is par for the course. So
Now I mean there's bubble baths and shit. I never have time for a bath because it's always like, I'm gonna have a nice bath. But first I need to wash some towels, wash my bathtub, then fill up the bathtub, find the thing that you put in the drain to make the water stay up, then find a movie on Netflix because you can't just sit in the bath anymore with your thoughts. Like you have to watch something or else like the crazy anxiety inducing thoughts just like creep into your head and you're just like, wow, this nice hot bath has turned into like a think tank on like how I'm gonna die.
Jesus.
I'm just mostly kidding. But yeah, bubble bath
I
would be
do
nice.
like, however, though, it's funny that you said that the bath turns into a think tank because when I first heard that term as a kid, I definitely thought like people in a tank of some
Yeah, me
sort.
too.
And not like a tank with a gun on it, like a tank of water.
Yeah,
That's what
me
I thought
too.
of as a think tank. Like, why would you put a bunch of people in there? Like,
Did you see
what's
that
that for?
movie? What was it? Rocket Man. Did you ever see the movie Rocket Man?
Yeah, where he had the
Fucking,
jetpack.
what was his name? What was his name?
The
Please help me.
the name of the character, like the main character.
The guy who played the main character.
Oh, I don't know. He was like,
Harlan Williams, right?
what? He was like not in anything else ever.
He was hilarious. Anyway, he's like getting ready to go to space and they put him in one of those like deprivation chambers or whatever. It's hilarious. He goes mental and then he like starts like
Oh, I don't think we're talking about the same thing. Are you talking about a funny guy, like a funny movie?
funny
Oh,
movie.
you're talking about okay, Disney's Rocket Man.
It's good. I highly
Is
recommend.
that the same guy who played Drop Dead Fred?
I don't know, but he was a serial killer in something about Mary.
Oh, it's Harlan Williams. That's what you said. Never mind. I get you. Okay, I know. I definitely know who that is.
Okay, let's switch questions. Let's see. What hobby would you get into if time and money weren't an issue? God, these are just
What
really bad.
hobby?
Yeah.
If time and money wasn't an issue, that's a good question. I think I think development. I think I would try to learn how to code. Honestly,
Really?
yeah.
Code
But
monkey like
I
you.
love that song. You showed me that song to begin with. I hadn't heard it. I love that song. It's so catchy. Yeah, coding because I did some of it in high school in a class and was bad at it and just realized that I didn't move at the same pace as everybody else. So time would have to be not an issue
Mhm.
and money would have to not be an issue because I would probably need to take the same classes over and over a few times to get it down, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's so many different types now. Like the type I was learning then was like called Pascal, I think. And I just like wasn't that good at it. And I feel like since it's math, but it's like a different type of math. So I don't know.
It's like different kind of hell.
Yeah, there's a
Tell me
lot
what.
though. There's a lot of things.
In chat, I'm seeing podcasting, travel. Alessandra says languages. That's a good
Yeah,
idea. Uh, Warhammer painting. Oh, I love Warhammer painting. I hardly know anything about Warhammer, but I really admire like a good Warhammer painting.
yeah, yeah. And Namin said learn how to fly a plane. That's awesome. I would definitely
Mhm.
learn how to be a pilot. That's kick ass.
You want to know what my secret uh hobby, like my secret wish for a hobby is I've
What?
always wanted to be a burlesque dancer.
That's hot.
I mean,
I think we'd all like for you to act on that.
I don't know, I think it's so cool and like the outfits they get to wear are cool and I think that it would be like an exercise or whatever. But I found out recently that there's like the one of like the oldest burlesque schools is in Manhattan, and that's where I'm working now, and it's like a 20-minute subway ride from my office, and I don't know, man, it's tempting. I mean, obviously I can't do it right now because I've got tendonitis, but maybe I'll need to pick up some sort of like uh physical activity and maybe that could be it. I don't know. I don't
Some
know.
sort some sort of physical activity. Is that your answer?
Yeah, I think that would be cool. And
Burlesque in particular? Like, are you talking
yeah,
about a a physical activity to prepare yourself for burlesque, or that would burlesque would be the physical activity?
that would be it.
Okay, gotcha.
But I feel like that could branch off into like pole dancing or whatever, and maybe like contortionist stuff. Sam says competitive eating. Did you ever see the Glutton Bowl on TV like a decade ago? And like dudes had to eat like things of mayonnaise.
I don't think I have.
That was gross.
That
Did you
sounds
guys
horrible.
did you guys eat a whole thing of mayonnaise?
Well, wait, were they competing, like getting something out of it? Or
Yeah.
were they just.
Like they had to eat like the hot dogs in the water really fast, like a regular eating competition. But then like it was like on TV and live, so they kept bringing out like weird shit. And then one of the rounds was just like a straight up bowl of mayonnaise, and
No,
they're just like,
would they win though? Like cash?
I don't remember.
Because I feel like I'd. Like, depending on the prize, I'd probably eat a lot of things. I feel like I'd eat a lot of horrible
Like,
things for
what would
cash.
you do? Like, okay, what would make you? What amount of money would make you eat a bowl of mayonnaise?
Um, I don't feel like a bowl of mayonnaise. I don't think is like that bad in comparison to all the horrible things you could have to eat for money. So I don't feel like it would be that much money. I don't know, like $100.
Hey man, you got $100 because I got this cup of
I
mayonnaise. I'll
mean,
eat it.
it's $100. I'd do it for $100.
Okay, we know you're cheap. I see $8 in the
But
chat.
see, like, it depends on what it is, though. If you're like, eat this bowl of live cockroaches, you know, like that's intense. Like that would be.
I wouldn't do that because I'm vegan, but
Everybody has a price.
I
Come on.
would I would eat a bowl of vegan mayonnaise for like $100 as well, honestly. Because you know what you could do with $100?
Yes, I'd eat a dick for a million, Zafira. Done
Yeah,
and done.
like
Serve up the dick.
eat a dick, like eat it,
I
or
you know
like eat a dick as in slang for.
I assumed she meant pull out the fork and knife
Oh, so that's
like on a bun with some ketchup and mustard.
as a vegan, I don't think I would have any qualms about eating like a human penis, but if it was an animal penis, I wouldn't go there.
You you guys are all guard yourselves.
Yeah,
Unless
watch
you're a
out.
dog watching right now, you're on the menu.
I hope dogs watch this. It'd be great to have a demographic of dogs. Hey, okay, here's a question. What job would you be terrible at?
Oh my god, that's so easy.
Oh,
I feel like there's all kinds of jobs I would be just horrible at. Um, I feel like one of them would be an air traffic controller because that's super math heavy on the fly. People's like lives are at stake.
oh my God. Yeah, anything that had like held the balance of somebody's life, I would choke. Or maybe like it would compel me to do my best. I don't know. I never want to be in that position. But it would be cool to tell people as a doctor. They call me Dr.
I
Dove.
I don't. I used to think I would be a pretty terrible politician. I feel like I these days I've been paying a lot more attention to it, and I feel more inspired on that side of things. I still feel like I'd probably be bad at it though, because I'm too honest, and I don't like playing games very much. Not video games. Love video games. It's psychological games and shit like that. Don't like that. I don't like talking clean. I like
Talking
I
clean.
like my swears.
I feel like
Politics would be hard with all that.
it's hard for me to explain things to people when I'm nervous, you know?
Yeah.
Like the other day, I had to explain something at work all of a sudden to everybody in the room, and I was like, and then I had to like compose myself, and I was like, "Hey guys, this video games are I talk for a living. How about that?"
Well, I
Yeah,
like some of these answers in chat too, because Thermal Donkey said, "Teacher, I have no patience for stupid people. You'd be surprised at how stupid kids are."
I'm not surprised by that.
I feel like okay, so I get you on that. I don't have patience for stupid people, but I do have patience for people who have a reason to be ignorant. You know, like so kids have a reason to be ignorant because they're kids. They haven't learned things yet,
Oh, so ignorant.
and I just feel like that's different. I feel like I could be more patient with that, but I do lack patience in a lot of situations, so I definitely understand that.
I would be terrible at a job that involved children. I just like I've never been able to understand kids. And like
Yeah.
there are exceptions, like some of them can be cool and stuff like that, and it helps when like the kid and I have something in common, which isn't too rare. Like sometimes they like video games, sometimes they like Disney movies, like shit like that. but I'm not good at like enforcing rules or telling them what to do. Like I'm just like I've always been a super shitty babysitter because I'll be like, oh, it's time to go to bed, and they'll be like, no, and I'll be like, nah, I don't know what to tell you. Fuck, shit, go. I don't know.
Now, I mean, also said mall security, I'd give zero fucks about chasing down some kid for stealing candy. So,
Gotta watch out for the force.
related story, in the mall the other day,
What
like
happened
2 weeks
to you in the
ago,
mall?
enjoying a beverage in the in the food court, and suddenly there's a ruckus. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I see that you're riveted by my story.
I'm
Yeah, so suddenly
listening.
there's a ruckus in the food court. This is a weekend, and it's packed full of people, and people just suddenly there's a lot of yelling and a lot of commotion out of nowhere, and it's just like everybody's looking around and whatever, and then suddenly you see a bunch of like teenagers go running through the crowd, running, and there's a fucking Paul Blart mall cop running right after him. Like,
Is he on a Segway?
no, but he's all big and he's like, and like most of the kids kind of scattered, the teens, I guess. Like they look like they were like later teens, maybe 16, 17, 18ish, but they
Okay.
were booking it, and there was a big group of them, and then so there were a few security guards all running. But believe it or not, the guy in front was the biggest, chubbiest guy, but he's the one who caught the one kid. Like most of them ran for the door, and this one idiot ran for this is the food court, so he like hopped over the counter at the Wendy's
As you do.
because that's the best way to
They've
escape.
got vegan fries.
I mean, I would have thought it would be Taco Bell, like run for the border at least. Something. But I guess in the moment you take what you can get, right? So he didn't get very far after hopping that counter, and he totally got caught. I think everybody else got away except the idiot who jumped over the counter.
I mean, if you're gonna go out with a bang. I guess I couldn't think of any Wendy's terms. Go out with a what are those? What are those drinks they have called like a frosty or
Frosty?
something? Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
I don't know, but I got a question for you.
Okay, what is the question?
It is straight out of chat from Techie Taco. Would you rather speak every language fluently or play every instrument beautifully?
That's a good question because I feel like the language thing would be like a really useful, and it would like open your entire world to like so many different people, and you could have so many different friends, and you could go anywhere in the world and feel comfortable and stuff. But I don't think that means as much to me as music does, so I'd probably pick the instrument thing. Cause like I'm really good at bass and I'm okay at harmonica, and I'm really good at the recorder, but other than that, I just need a little help.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that's a really good question because the thing about playing every instrument is just so like it's almost mystical,
Mhm.
Because when you think of like the people who are absolutely amazing at music, especially those who can just like pick up instruments and just get it, you know, just play like that kind of thing is just like amazing. So the idea of doing that like across every instrument there is, that's pretty dope. I do love the idea of being able to speak to anyone in any language, though.
You could tell anybody in the world that they're an asshole.
Know how to swear in every language, but only swear.
Yeah, like that's the only thing. The only thing you can say in other languages are insults.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. There's some good answers in chat too about speaking every language so you could know all kinds of things. That's what Alessandra
You could
said.
be a spy.
It would be pretty cool.
You could get any job anywhere. Like you could get that what was it like Blizz was looking for like player relations for like Mandarin and
Oh
Korean for a
yeah.
while. And I was hoping that they were looking for like player relations for Canadians. I could like help out Surefour and XQC. Just be like, hey guys, I brought you some poutine. They'd be like, thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Well, first they'd be like, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't have to go through all that trouble. I'm like, no, I'm sorry for making you feel sorry. See, player relations, Canadian, Canada. What's going on?
There you go.
Okay, let's see.
Meat Hooks wants to know what kind of bass you play.
Oh, that one is it's just your standard Ibanez, but it's a short scale because I'm a very small woman. So it's easier for me to hold in my arms. Uh, but yeah, I before that one I was playing this like violin bass. It was like a Hofner knockoff, but it was actually really nice. It was called a J Tercer. I think that's a Canadian brand, but I'm not sure. And then before that, I had an acoustic bass. It was like an Ovation, but I hated it, so I sold it. And then before that, I had this really strange looking cheap bass. It was a Samick, and it was just way too big and way too clunky for me. But I played it for years. Anyway, let's look at more questions. What takes up too much of your time?
Uh, okay. It is gaming related, but it is not exactly gaming.
All
The
right.
thing that takes up too much of my time is learning how to do things in games.
Okay.
Or, so that's anything from like figuring out how to play a new game to figuring out how to perfect certain parts of a game to things like, let's take World of Warcraft, for example. Spend definitely way too much time on things like Icy Veins trying to figure out what are my stats and what's the prime rotation for this type of situation. Not so much rotation because you kind of get muscle memory down for that, but things like what stats to what breakpoints, what are your gear best in slots, things like that. Um, the things where there are multiple answers for those things, those are the things that like they just don't stick. I can't bring myself to remember something I can look up super easily because I just don't.
Yeah,
I guess I decided subconsciously like I'm not going to memorize anything that I can just look up. I'm not going to waste any space with that.
that makes sense. It's funny
Apparently.
because like the best WoW players are usually the ones who can just retain information like that, like numbers and uh percentages and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And like
All
I
of
know,
our top raid team members are like that.
yeah,
They just have
it's
like
like
insane memories.
yeah, just really, really good at memorizing things like, and more often than not, they'll be like engineers or, just really academic type people. And then you get like us, and we're like, oh, I like this class because it goes, pew, pew, pew. Look at the sparkles, this fire, wow. Yeah. Uh, no, that's a good answer though.
What about you?
Sleep.
Oh God.
I'm just always tired. Like I'm always down for a nap.
Wait, but isn't the question what you spend too much time doing?
Yes, I spend too much time sleeping.
I feel like
I
I don't spend nearly enough time sleeping.
I spend too much time sleeping. I always have a shitty sleep schedule, and if I ever have a spare minute, I'm usually asleep. It sucks. I don't know why. I'm just always so tired. Wish that answer was funnier.
That's my secret. I'm always tired.
That's my secret. I'm always tired.
If someone offered you $1 million, but you could never again play any Blizzard games, would you take it?
No. No, absolutely not.
Good question, Teki Taco.
What about you?
I don't know. $1 million is a whole lot, but God, it's like this thing that you've kind of built your life around for like a decade,
Yeah.
where all your friends are, where, all your loved ones are. I don't know. I feel like one of the things that is the most valuable to me about Blizzard games and the Blizzard community is like how many people in this chat have become beyond people that we've just known the names of in the community and have become outright friends.
Yeah.
Like there's and the thing that you do like the it used to be difficult to have friends that you weren't nearby physically because you couldn't go do things with them, but now that's not how the world is anymore.
Yeah.
Like not only can we play games together, but we could even like there's I forget that site that somebody told us about just the other night, Rabbit something, where you can like watch things at the same time as people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm 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 actually kind of nervous that like I don't actually like video games. I just like Blizzard games. Because I work with a bunch of people who play all sorts of games, and like I love when people talk about new games that they're excited for, and like when people try out Steam games and all that stuff. But I have absolutely no interest other than like last year. The only other games I tried besides Blizzard games were or was Dream Daddy, just because I liked the concept. But that's it. So I'm not sure. Like I grew up playing video games like crazy, but once I started playing Blizzard games, like I just sort of like phased out everything else.
You know, maybe you should just get all up in Doki Doki Literature Club with me. Maybe some Cat Quest.
Oh, you
You
know what
know.
games I really do like though? Those like erotic, like clicker games, those flash games, you know, those like anime flash games. Those are nice. It's like you're trying to be
I don't know.
the it's trying to be like the chick's boyfriend and
Oh.
you have to like buy her
Oh.
stuff. I guess that's kind of like Dream Daddy too, except with less daddies.
What was it that appealed to you about Dream Daddy? After saying that you don't like to play anything else, then suddenly that one
Uh,
came around.
I think I just in my life and in the gaming industry in general, like the whole concept of like a dad finding love with another dad is like severely lacking, and I felt like Dream Daddy really filled a void in my soul that I didn't know was there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's why that question's so rough. That was a really really good one. Techie Taco is killing it with the questions.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
Ooh,
he or
here's a,
she. Let's not make any assumptions.
you want to know something about Teki Taco though?
Yes.
He sent us a video.
Oh yeah. Are we
I
gonna
watched
play it
him.
on the show?
I was gonna talk about it on the show, but I watched it on the train on the way home, and I sent it to my mama.
Aw.
And Teki, my mom thinks you're cute, so we got that going for you, buddy.
Yes.
Okay, so
Who else has
question.
that going for him today? Just you.
Question. What would be your first question after waking up from being cryogenically frozen for 100 years?
I feel like the very first question would be either where am I or when is it? What year is it? Like, cause would you, like, I don't know. I guess that depends on the situation. Would I have known going in that I was going to be frozen for exactly 100 years? I feel like that's probably not the case.
Will my balls work?
Will my balls work?
Will my balls work? That's a good question. I mean, okay, maybe like beyond where am I, who am I, what time is it, what year is it? Like what beyond that, like what would be your first question?
Did my
Like
sublapse? Did they buff Windwalkers yet?
I love these people so much. But yeah, that would be a good question. Is WoW still going? Um, have they invented sex robots yet? Um, is sexy virtual reality a thing now? Because that's why you would get cryogenically frozen, would it not? To have sex with robots? I mean, I really can't think of any other reason why you would be frozen other than that. And like you wouldn't want you'd want to be frozen for long enough that's like you surpass the like slightly weird looking, kind of off, like human-esque sex robots, and you'd want to like keep being frozen until like they smooth all that out, and then you get to like the fancier, like cushier, softer, more real looking sex robots, but not far enough that you're like having sex with a robot and you can't tell if it's like an actual person or not. Not that far. You want in between the two, right?
I'm not sure I understand the difference. Part, the cushy type of robot that you know is a robot versus
Okay.
what?
Well, I'm just thinking like, you know how like cars evolved and like the first cars were like really clunky and uh you know they took a lot of like fuel to get going and like they'd fall apart but they'd last for years because they were just like so, you know, I don't know anything about mechanics obviously,
Okay.
but then cars started moving slowly into like more efficient, better looking, more streamlined kind of thing, you know? That's where you want
Okay.
to be. Because
Okay.
like
Yeah. All right. I
cars
got
in
you.
the future are going to be able to drive themselves. And then you're going to be like, is it even still a car or is it just like transport, you know? So you just want to get like away from the clunky, weird, Like if you look at like those weird AI robots that they have now with like the weird like human-esque faces, those are
Yeah.
fucking freaky as hell.
Yeah.
So you get through that, you get to a place where like, you know, you can tell it's a robot, but it's not so much of a robot that it's creepy, but it's still a robot. But then you don't want to get to the point where it's like they're so realistic that you feel bad for like taking advantage of it.
Okay, so Chad is making some good points that are relevant to what you're saying.
Okay.
First of all, Dazzledorn asked, like, real doll tech?
Yes.
And that's absolutely it. So, yes, absolutely. Um, then Meat Hooks brought up season 2, episode 1 of Black Mirror, Robot Love. In that episode, no spoilers, basically, there's a couple and one of them passes away. And there is a service, this is in the near future apparently, there's a service that will allow you to still be in touch with your departed loved one. And basically, the way they do it is they pull mannerisms and ways of speaking and things like that from social media. So they look at all the patterns of the ways that you speak and the phrases you use and that sort of thing, and you can text back and forth with your departed loved one as if they're kind of still there. But then it goes further and further and further, and that's kind of how the episode goes. So that's definitely highly recommended. That's a great, great show, you guys. Definitely check out Black Mirror. And then Thermal Monkey said this is just describing Westworld now. So I know I talked to you about Westworld. I don't know how much you know about it,
No idea.
but the idea of that is exactly what you were describing. They are basically robots, but they in the show they're just played by regular normal human actors, like just actors. And they just like people go to this place called Westworld and they basically do whatever they want. They can be, you know, a Wild West cowboy and, you know, fight against the people who are, you know, like outlaws or whatever, or they can be outlaws themselves, or they can just like sleep with hookers,
Cool.
and all the people they're interacting with are just androids basically, but they're so realistic that you can't tell like nearly at all.
Cool.
So that's the level at which I think you were describing, like the future, pretty much perfect human, right?
I get no, that's not what I was describing at all.
No, I didn't mean that they're a perfect human being. I just meant that they're like you can't tell. They're a sex robot, but you can't tell that
Yeah.
they're a robot anymore.
I don't. This is getting way too technical. I just wanted to talk about sexy robots. Okay.
That's still what we're talking about.
Okay. What are some small things that make your day better?
Coffee
Okay.
is a big one. Nice weather,
Okay.
lack of traffic,
Okay.
an extra good episode of a podcast on my way to work,
Yes, good podcast.
not being at work. Huh?
That's kind of a big thing though. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it happens twice a week, right?
Mhm. I think for me it's like a good hair day or I don't miss my fucking train.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Today the conductor on the train called me sweetie. I liked that. He was like this nice old man.
Oh, you know what? That's a good one. Like random interactions with people that are just positive.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that doesn't often happen.
You know, I used to
Um,
do stuff like that on purpose, like to specifically try and create that for other people. I should
Yeah.
get back into that.
You could do that.
I've become a sour old man.
Yes,
I've
you
stopped doing
have.
it. I should make an effort to do that more often.
What else? I don't know, just like having a good outfit. You know, that's the worst when like you get up really early and you put on something and then you leave the house and you realize that like the shirt's too small or it's like riding up or it
Yeah.
doesn't look as good as you thought it did when you see like yourself in the mirror at work and you're like, oh fuck, why the fuck did I wear this? Or I don't know. Sometimes like I put on like really stupid socks and they don't go with my pants and then the pants are too short and then everybody could see my dumb socks that I was trying to hide. Uh, what else? Uh, like really good social media interactions early in the morning.
Oh, to really
Yeah.
like set the day off
Yeah.
in the right direction.
Yeah. It's
Like
just
like Taryn Gregory stops in your stream first thing.
oh yeah, and then your entire weekend is just like golden because that happened.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you gotta compliment about your hair in chat.
Oh, thank you.
Talk about the little things to make the day better.
Compliments are very nice. Who else? I don't know. I had a pretty good day today. Like it was fairly warm out. It was my first like super rainy day in Manhattan, and I'd never seen it so rainy before, and like it was all like misty, and the Empire State Building was completely like shrouded in mist, so it was like it wasn't even there. It was weird.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just nice. It was really warm, and like in the office we had the window open. That was nice, just having like a breeze.
Ah,
But
see, a nice breeze. There's something
yeah,
small to
nice
make the day better.
breeze. That's perfect. It's perfect. It's too bad that these questions aren't like funny and sexy, because that's where we excel.
That's
Ooh,
true.
okay. What TV channel doesn't exist but really should?
What TV channel?
I want a TV channel where anybody can just go on and just like say stuff.
Like
In
public access? Like Wayne's World?
Kinda. In Canada, in Ontario, we had this thing called shit, what was it? Speakers Corners. And there'd be just like these, it looked like those traveling photo booths that you see at like events and stuff, but bigger. And you'd go in and you put in a loonie, which is $1, and you would just sit there, and then you would wait for the camera to blink, and then the camera would go on, and you would just talk about whatever you wanted, or sing, or
That's pretty
whatever.
cool.
And then the local cable channel would just like, between TV shows, they would just be like, and now here's some Speakers Corner, and just like people would just like roll by, just like saying their piece on whatever, or performing, or any that, just stuff like that. And since I lived in Ottawa, it was like you'd get the random celebrity. Like I remember like Bare Naked Ladies all piled in one time, and they were just like
That's awesome.
tired, like singing and stuff. It was so cool. I want something like that. I just because like I don't even really watch TV anymore, but I love watching YouTubers. I like, seeing into their lives and like what they're doing and what they're up to and what their ideas are and their opinions are about things, and just like I just like the idea of like learning about somebody completely unfiltered in the way that they want people to see them,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that.
That's pretty cool. I like
That'd
that.
be a TV station. Also, it would be like 18 plus, so you could be naked if you wanted to.
I feel like I'd like to see the channel that doesn't exist. I'm not sure it's possible because I feel like I would want the channel that's playing exactly what I want to see right then, you know?
Yeah.
Like it could read my mind and know that I'm in the mood for like something retro that I once loved and would love to see again right now. It would know that I'm in the mood for a comedy at that moment and put on something that is hilarious and awesome or that I've been meaning to see or whatever. I don't know. That's not possible. So that's my answer, but it's lame.
That's a really bad answer.
Would you rather save the life of one random person that you'll never meet or have a real lightsaber?
A real lightsaber, because I'm selfish.
I will take door number one. Save the life.
Haha, you don't have a lightsaber.
Glue, fried or sauteed?
What kind of lightsaber would you have?
Fried, by the way, Joey. And green, I think.
Interesting.
What about you?
Basic. Yellow. Oh,
What the fuck is basic about green? It's like fucking green lightsaber. That's dope.
yeah, really cool. Green lightsaber, just like Luke Skywalker.
Is that what Luke had?
Yeah. Yeah.
So?
Yeah. I'm just saying, you're basic.
Wow.
Okay, let's see. What amazing thing did you do? What amazing thing did you do that nobody was around to see?
What amazing thing did I do? Wow, that's really like a please gloat question, isn't it?
Okay. If you suddenly became a master at woodworking, what would you make?
A dick, obviously. A giant wooden cock. Next question,
Okay.
because that's your answer also.
Next question. Let's see. What do you wish you knew more about?
Math.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
I don't
wait,
know
do we
anything
wait? Do we
about
mean
that.
like you just would know? Like, you know?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then math.
Okay.
Like crazy, fucked up, awesome, super useful math.
Okay.
Because I'm just that bad at it. What about you?
Mm, I don't know. Just like adult stuff, you know, like how to pay taxes and shit. Like stuff that's like important for adults to know
Oh,
because I feel
sure.
like I missed that somehow. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know how
missed
to
it.
do anything.
How is that stuff not in school? Like they teach you about everything else other than like the things that you need to do in your own life.
I have no idea how to take care of myself. I don't know how to have a proper diet. I don't know how to exercise. I don't know how to like fill out forms and shit. I don't know how to do anything. Like I'm surprised I'm not dead, to be honest. I have no idea. Okay. As the only human left on Earth, what would you do?
Jesus, the only human.
The only human.
So are we imagining a scenario where like the Earth is exactly as it was right now, and suddenly
Yes.
like just boom?
Maybe like a the stand happened,
Yeah.
except
Okay.
only one person survived and it was you.
I would just start traveling. I would just go everywhere and see what the hell's left, and like try and figure out what everybody was doing at that moment that everybody departed or whatever, and just like I don't know, like what the fuck else is there to do? Everything would stop running. Maybe not like right that instant, but very soon. Yeah, watch a lot of porn. Yeah, do that. Do
Awkward.
that first before all the energy stops working, before the electricity turns off, before the servers go down. You know, before all that stuff turns off, because it will with nobody else around. Because I sure as fuck don't know how to run the generators and
I feel like that's
whatever
another
else.
one of those adult things you need to know.
No, I
Run
didn't
those
mean like a
generators
local
and shit.
generator. I meant like the electricity grid
Right.
that would influence things like streetlights and all that stuff.
Okay.
Uh, what would you do?
I would befriend the animals as soon as possible because I would need them for comfort and for safety from other animals, and they would have to show me their ways probably. And
Like you weren't raised by wolves, but you'd like have to like get in good with the wolves as an
yeah, I
adult instead.
feel like dogs would be your first and safest bet pretty much, you know? Cuz like dogs already like people and people already like kind of know how to interact with dogs. So like I feel like
Yeah.
all of the dogs like without humans anymore would like form packs probably. And some of them would probably really miss humans, so they would be like naturally inclined to like hang out with you and want to be your friend and protect you and shit, which I think is probably really important because,
Hmm.
you know, once there's no humans around,
That's very practical.
the animals are going to come at you. So I'm just saying like if you've got like 100 dogs, one, you're safe. Two, 100 dogs? 100 dogs. Yes, please. Yes, queen. You could like take out an entire like mall and just like go around and take care of dogs all day. Like you could like put down dog beds from like all of the different pet shops in the area. Oh my god, and just pet dogs. And like you would live like a king, a goddamn king, you know, just like in your mall of dogs. Oh man, there's gonna be dog poop
Dog,
everywhere.
dog mall.
Dog mall.
Hashtag dog mall.
All the people are gone. It's time for dog mall. Oh, that'd be great.
Okay.
No, the dogs could just like go and come as they please, so there wouldn't necessarily be poop out there. But you get a lot of puppies though. Oh, puppies. Okay,
You'd be
maybe
covered in puppies,
being
covered
the
in
only
dogs.
human left on Earth wouldn't be so bad. And birds and cats too, and deer. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Okay, let me grab this one from Zafira. Bad sex with the hottest person you know, or great sex with the worst person you know.
Bad sex with the hottest person.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one too. I
Yeah,
not I don't want to like downplay the fact that that's an awesome question. Because
oh,
we
it's
had
a good
yeah,
question.
just because we answered quickly doesn't mean that wasn't a
I feel
good
like a
question.
lot of people can probably attest to the whole like, oh wow, that was great sex, but I really hate this person. And then you feel weird afterwards.
Yeah, it's called hate fucking.
Or a mistake. It's called a mistake.
It,
It's both. Um,
Definitely
um,
very clearly both. Yeah, Sean, thanks for following. Thanks
yeah,
for all the
just
follows,
look.
guys. I think we missed a couple while we were talking just to not interrupt, but we appreciate all of those. Guys.
Hey. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What did you think you'd grow out of but haven't?
Video games for one.
You thought you would grow out of video games?
I don't know that I like ever actively thought of that. I feel like I just thought it was like I feel like the mindset of adults around me is that video games are a temporary childlike thing and that just like all the other things you're doing as hobbies as a kid, you would grow out of them and no longer do that stuff.
It's sad.
Well, I don't think it's far off though. I mean, that's why even now, there's still plenty of people who don't consider gaming, a legit hobby for an adult. There are people who don't think that you should eat candy as an adult.
What?
They're lame. All these people who think these things are lame, but they exist.
Oh, I'd have fun.
Yeah. They just like people have widely differing opinions on these things. So anyway, I gaming is one of them. Trying to think of what else. I don't know that I can think of anything else. You got anything?
Acne.
Yeah, but like,
No, legit though.
you thought it would just go away entirely?
Yeah, I always thought it was like a puberty thing, but apparently it's just a fuck my life thing. Like my face skin is like the same as when I was a teenager, maybe slightly better. Fucking sucks, dude. I was just like, as a teenager, everybody's like, oh, you'll grow out of it. It's normal to have acne as a teenager. Like, that's just what teenagers do. That's one of the things that they go through. And I'm like, great. So I'm just like waiting and waiting and waiting for it to stop. And it doesn't stop. It's never going to stop. And you know what else? My mom still gets acne. So fuck me.
Oh no. Ah,
Awesome.
I'm sorry. Dazzledorm, we're going to be talking about that on the next episode, so that'll come, buddy.
What are we talking about?
He was asking about the women in Overwatch League.
Ah, yes. I
We will
had the
address that.
I can give you a little preview on that though. I had the opportunity to write an entire article about that today at work, and my editor really encouraged me to go for it. It took all day, and I think it's coming out tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully
It's awesome.
people don't hate me after that comes out, but we'll be talking it on the next podcast.
I think you'd have to say some. You'd have to say some shit for people to hate you.
I mean, you never know.
I don't know. I mean, like, haven't you ever like heard some comment by somebody and you're like, oh, what an asshole. Who the fuck is this person? Then you look up some of their stuff and it turns out they're kind of awesome and you're like, all right, well,
Yeah, actually.
that's how everybody's reaction would be to you. Like, I can't believe she thinks that. What kind of idiot is it? She's kind of funny and she's really cute and she's got great hair and
Who are you trying to be at this point?
just I don't know, a random bitch.
Random bitch. Oh my god. Such a random bitch.
Acne is the lie the world tells you will go away. Well put,
Apparently.
Mewcow.
Apparently. Christ. Listen to this question. Is this properly worded? They say that everyone has a book in them. What would your book be about? A book in them?
Yeah, as in,
Like I
You have-
swallowed a book?
no, you have the ability to write a book.
Oh, I got a book at work.
That's not the answer to the question.
Ow.
Is
They
that book
wanna-
inside of you?
They want everybody at work to read this. It's called Before. Has anybody read it? It's about Apple, Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna read it because they told me to.
Wow, a business book. Will that be the first business book you've ever read?
Yes.
Nice.
Good
Nice.
business now.
Hey,
Got
and
business.
and then you'll be able to say you've read a business book, like a professional book, like for your career.
Will I become a doctor?
No,
Doctor?
not how that works. No. Mm-mm.
I always thought that my book would be about it would be about my life, but each chapter would be about somebody in my life.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I tend to put a lot of emphasis on like one or two people. Like I get like temporarily obsessed with people, And sometimes that that survives years and stuff, but like I always tend to like I don't know, like I get like really intense friendships for a while and then that sort of tapers off once the person realizes that I'm fucking insane, you
Gotcha.
know? And then I'll move on to the next victim,
The next victim. Well put.
yes, of my friendship. I'm just like, I'm gonna be friends with you so hard. And then like a few months go by and they're like, I'm done. That's cool. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop now. I'm gonna back off a little bit. You're getting too intense. And I'm like, I just want to play video games with you. You're fucking. Maybe it's good that all of my friends are online. Do you
Does
think
that
your
make it
book?
better?
I don't know. Do you think your book would be a cookbook?
You gotta do your cooking by the book?
Yeah.
No, my book would definitely not be a cookbook. That's a. I think your answer was spectacular. You came up with that really fast. I'm jealous.
I've thought about that before though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
So
really
that's
like
kind of fair.
not only that it was about you, but that it's about somebody in your life at that point. That's a really interesting perspective. You should do that. You should write that.
Man, they make me write at work.
You're not
I
being
don't-
assigned to, it's a suggestion. It's an encouragement because your idea is spectacular.
I am actually writing a novel about centaurs though, except I haven't touched it in like a year. But I'm still technically writing it, sort of. Write a novel? You write a novel? That's a really old joke. Hey, what is something you will never do again, ever?
Heroin. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I shouldn't joke. There might be
Yeah,
some
that's
smackheads in chat here.
not funny.
uh, something I'll never do again.
I've got an idea.
Go for it.
Um, I've been on a Ferris wheel like twice in my life, and both times were just like the worst time of life.
Mm.
I'm really scared of heights. Have sex with an old lady, go to jail, first grade.
Okay, Billy Madison.
Steal chips from BlizzCon. I wasn't stealing them. I was entitled to those chips. I didn't eat fast. They were feeding me. But yeah, I went. The first Ferris wheel I ever went on was in Belfast. It was like St. Patrick's Day, and it was right next to like the city hall, and they had like this really fancy. It was kind of like a knockoff of the one you see in London.
Okay.
It was big, and it had like instead of like a bucket seat that you sit on, it had those like hangy carriages. And for some reason, I thought it'd be a great idea to go in it. And as soon as like the door
Okay.
closed, I started panicking, and it just like had a full-on panic
Oh
attack,
no.
crying. Like they were going slow, so that like everybody had a turn at the top,
Yeah, yeah.
and like if you moved even just a little bit, it would like swing, you know, like it'd be like moving around. Oh God, it was just awful. It was so awful, and I don't know why I did it. And then the second one I went in was like your standard like country fair one, and it was smaller, and I figured this will be fine. It'll be relaxing. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Wasn't. Mm-mm. Started crying. I was like sitting on the floor of like it was like a 4-person bucket. I was like on the floor holding like the pole in my arms, just like crying, not looking. It was just I don't know why I do these
Ugh.
things to myself, but I'm never gonna
Sounds
do that again
horrible.
because I tried it twice. It was a bad time both times, so I'm not gonna do it again.
I'm sorry. It's so
Okay.
funny because that's like such a. I don't know. When you think of like a ride, that's like the most wholesome, innocent one. Is the Ferris wheel,
God.
and it's just like
The
terrifying to you.
merry-go-round is. Nobody ever got scared on a
That's
fucking
fair.
merry-go-round.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But it's up there with the merry-go-round.
Fine. Okay, there are 2 types of people in this world. What are the 2 types? Go, everybody. Right now. 2 types of people in the world. Who are they? Answer.
Those who fuck and those who get fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 types of people in this world. It really reduces things pretty harshly.
I know. It's hard to, like,
Thorn and fist! Thanks, Winchester.
We are
you're
quite different.
you're either a thorn or a fist.
Yeah. Hey, are you guys a thorn or a fist?
I'm not sure we're different enough for that to be the only two types, though. You know?
Okay, let's see. What's the difference between us? I'm good at multitasking and you are not.
No, not at all. I'm terrible at it.
Uh,
I'm gonna reduce this window full of Ferris wheel gifs that I was gonna put up before because it's distracting me on that point in particular.
um,
But see, we're both super empathetic, like almost to a fault,
that's true.
and and compassionate. We can't help but do that. Like as much
What are our
trash as I
differences?
talk.
What are we different though? What are our differences?
Mm, boys have penises and girls have vaginas.
As far as you know.
That's a difference.
Um, I think that you're way more trusting of people than I am.
That's definitely true.
Um, I don't know. I don't know what our differences are or what our sames are. Somebody said, Tham said horde and not horde. I like that.
That's a good one.
That is a really good one. And
There was a theory from an outtake of Pulp Fiction that said you're either an Elvis guy or a Beatles guy,
you
but
know
not
what?
both.
That makes sense. And I've heard that before. It's like you can't be a super fan of both. You have to pick one. And I think it's just because like they're so different.
Which one would you be?
Beatles. For
Me
sure.
too. There's the same.
Yeah, that's the same. This is a really hard question.
Yeah. Two types of people in the world. It's really hard to answer that without obviously going way down the deep end of overgeneralizing. But let me give it a shot.
Okay.
Those who are able to put themselves entirely first, and those who don't.
Okay, that's good. That's interesting.
It's still not right. It's still not perfect, but
No, it's not perfect. But you're right.
people that say GIF and people that say GIF. That's a good answer,
Yeah.
Tiki Taco. There's people who say GIF and there are people who are wrong. Those are the two types of people.
I think there's like an Ask Reddit thread of that, and it's really good. There's probably an
And ask Reddit about the pronunciation of GIF?
No, two types of people.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay,
That sounds worthy of an ask Reddit.
what stereotype do you completely live up to? All right, cool. Dead air. That's awesome.
I don't know. Do you
Um,
know what you live up to? Canadian? Okay. All right.
Completely. Everything is true. I like skating. I don't mind the cold weather. I like to be super polite. Um, I am sorry. It's like my natural inclination to apologize for everything, even if it's not my fault. Um, yeah.
What about far out? I'm gonna put something on the screen in a moment, and you tell me if that or does not also apply to you in terms of stereotypical.
Oh yeah. I've always been a gremlin diva. That's just who I am and have always been. And I like to see it represented so well.
The question for chat's purposes was, what stereotype, right?
Yeah.
What stereotype are you, basically? And I don't know. Douchebag on mine.
Yeah, I
Oh.
would agree.
Hold on. Spaz got auto-modded because he used the cunt
I
word.
got it. I got it.
Oh, good. So did I.
Okay. As you get older, what are you becoming more and more afraid of?
Slower reaction times in video games.
Yes.
And I don't feel that very much, but I definitely feel like I have to pay attention to it, whereas I never thought to before.
Yeah, when I was researching that article that I wrote today, I was reading about like what what team recruiters are looking for in pro players, and a lot of the articles that I read were like why they choose such young people, like people who aren't even old enough to play it. And it's because apparently like your hand and eye coordination in video games is better before you're 30, and once you hit 30 it starts going down.
No.
I know. And I'm just like, oh god, that fucking sucks, dude. Am I gonna start sucking at video games? It's like my life is over. I don't want to suck at video games. I want to be good at video games. Because if I'm not good at video games, what am I gonna be good at? Uh, yeah, so that's probably the best answer. Okay. What is one of your favorite smells?
Um, fruit punch Capri Sun.
That is so oddly specific.
Yeah, I thought of this. I've thought of this enough times in my life that it resonates. The reason that's one of my favorite smells is that it is directly correlated to not one but two of the greatest days of my life as a child.
Aw.
Both of them were spent on the beach, having a beautiful, wonderful, picturesque after school special type of time on the beach with like a boogie board and being a kid and fucking having the time of my life and stopping for breaks to drink fruit punch Capri Sun.
Aw.
So whenever I smell that or taste it now, I immediately think of those memories. It's very specific. What about you?
I don't know.
The chat says my own brand, aka my farts.
I can't say I've ever really enjoyed that, although my dog's farts often smell like Chef Boyardee. That's not so bad. Um, um,
Shawn Michaels in the Nature Boy.
I don't know. This is kind of probably a cop out, but like my dog's head often smells like cookies or strawberries or something. I'm not sure why. I think maybe it's because like I usually have lip gloss on, and so like I'm always kissing him on top of his nice wide flat head because it's, flat wide dog head. It's kissable, right? So,
It's a good spot for kissing.
and like
That is a kissable dog.
he can't rub it off. And like he doesn't get baths that often, so I don't know, maybe it's just like a residual lip gloss, or maybe he just has a natural like appealing scent to me. I don't know, but it's probably my favorite smell.
Oh, that's a good one.
Let's see. Okay, so
That's a really good one.
we're at showtime, so I want to like find one. Okay, if you had an hour to live, an hour left of your life, you were gonna die in an hour.
Oh,
What would you spend that hour doing?
this
You'd be streaming on Twitch?
with you and these guys.
Okay.
What's better than this? Hanging out with all the
Masturbation?
best people. Hey, if it's the last hour, I could masturbate too. Would you guys hold that against me if it was my last hour on Earth?
Yeah, but then you get kicked off Twitch.
Only if somebody in this Twitch were to report me.
Do you think somebody would?
Do you think the people who pay attention to us would report us for any shit like that?
Report a dying man. Just try to enjoy his last
Don't report me!
I'm gonna jerk it so hard that I die. Do you think anybody's ever done that?
Hey, but at least you could try and climax at like exactly the moment of when your hour is up.
Yeah.
You could come and go at the same time.
Oh, that's funny. You'd have to like do it a little bit before though. So I feel like the only thing, like if you don't want to die, like the only way you could go and not mind so much, just like not besides doing like super hard drugs and all that, would be to like just beat it. I guess.
Beat it. Beat it.
That's what that song's about actually, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I probably want to do that too. I would probably want to do just something just like absolutely crazy. Like drive my car into like a window or something, or just like set something on fire. I don't know.
Go be
just-
destructive in some way
Yeah,
that you don't have to handle
exactly, like suffer the repercussions of it. Like explode a car or something like that.
You couldn't do
just,
that. You wouldn't be able to do that. I'll tell you why you wouldn't be able to do that.
Why?
Because of your Canadian sensibilities.
You're
You would
right.
not be able to leave this world with a mess behind you that somebody else had to be responsible for.
Stereotypical Canadian. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, you're right.
That wouldn't happen. You wouldn't be able to do it.
You know what I'd probably do though?
What?
I'd log into WoW, put on my best transmog if I
Yes.
wasn't wearing it already, and then like park my character somewhere amazing.
Yes.
like on a cliff overlooking something, or I don't know.
And then post screenshots and say, goodbye world. This is where I leave you.
Goodbye IRL.
Oh, that's so sad though.
goodbye in game,
Jesus.
while furiously jerking off, of course.
Of course, but still. Death jerk.
Death jerk. The final jerk.
The reckoning. All right, guys. On that happy note, we are at showtime. So thank you guys all for joining us for the first episode of the year. We'll ride out with me actually speaking in a way that you can hear me for once instead of the intro where you couldn't. Really appreciate you guys all participating so much in chat, throwing in all these great questions that you had and answers to some of the questions we were talking through. That was really fun. Maybe we should do questions like that more often because that was a good time.
I think so too. It's fun. It's fun to hang out with you guys and ask you weird questions and hear your weird answers.
Always. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night, and we will catch you on the flip.
What does that mean?